Chipmunks in danger? This looks like a job for Deadpool Duck.
Fox, take the chipmunks back to base. Bunny, Chickman, and I will deal with our brother. I'm sorry it had to end this way, Dexter, but I cannot have you standing in my way. Come on, brothers, we have a job to do.
O'Sullivan, have any of your officers tampered with this crime scene?
We haven't touched it, Detective Wolfman. All we've done is cordon off the area. But it's quite evident this was a suicide. We found a note in the duck's pocket, and it reeks of alcohol.
This was no suicide. Look at the bruising on the duck's knees. His legs were broken before he hit the pavement. A duck with broken legs couldn't have jumped this far off a building, which can only mean one thing. He was thrown from the rooftop.
I apologize for intruding on your crime scene, Detective, but this duck is like a brother to me, so his attempted murder is a personal matter.
Captain America, I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. With all due respect, this duck hasn't had a pulse for the last 20 minutes. Your friend is deceased.
This is not your ordinary duck, Detective. In 1973, he jumped on a grenade to save my life. The explosion would have killed any normal duck, but Deadpool Duck recovered from his injuries in just 18 hours. I believe he'll pull through this. A medical team is en route to speed things along.
Well, this is one remarkable piece of waterfowl. Don't you worry, Captain. I'll find the criminals that did this to your friend. I have never left a case unsolved.
I appreciate that, Detective. I just returned back from a covert assignment, but I have a lead we can work with. Deadpool Duck left me a message 48 hours ago while I was still on mission. He was hot on the trail of the terrorists that bombed the Vietnamese embassy 4 days ago. The same terrorists also responsible for the recent string of chipmunk kidnappings.
12 people died in that bombing, and we've had 8 chipmunks reported missing recently. Did the Duck know the identity of these criminals?
Deadpool Duck and I commanded a SOG team together in Vietnam. He told me the terrorists are former members of our team. They've been locked away in a maximum security military prison for the last 40 years. 5 days ago, they all broke out. Their ringleader is named Freddy Fazbear.
Freddy Fazbear, the musician?
We found this coin next to the duck's body. It says Fazbear's Pizzeria.
This Fazbear is sloppy, Captain.
He's challenging me. He knows I'll find him.
So what's this Fazbear's story, Captain? What are we walking into here?
Freddy Fazbear is the product of genetic engineering. During the Second World War, a German scientist named Wolfgang Strucker was attempting to create an army of sentient animal super soldiers. He successfully bioengineered a number of animal warriors that were bred to kill and follow orders, but most of them died because they couldn't handle the super soldiers' serum Strucker injected into them. Only the 6 toughest animals survived, Fazbear and his brothers. In 1944, my team and I took over Strucker's laboratory. My close friend, Dum Dum Dugan, rescued the 6 surviving animals from Strucker's experiments. When the war ended, Dugan pulled some strings with S.H.I.E.L.D. He adopted those 6 animals and raised them as his own children. They grew up listening to Dugan tell heroic stories of his adventures fighting alongside Captain America in the Second World War. Fazbear and 3 of his brothers soon discovered they had incredible musical talent. They started a band that became very popular. Soon they opened their own pizzeria and performed there. Dugan's other two sons, Dexter Duck and Checkers the Chipmunk, joined the army. It was always their dream to be soldiers, just like their father. In 1964, they fished me out of the ice, just in time for the Vietnam War. I commanded a SOG team and fought alongside Dexter Duck, Dum Dum Dugan, and Checkers the Chipmunk, one of the finest warriors I've ever known. As the war raged on, Fosbear and his brothers believed they had a responsibility to serve their country and stand against communism. The super soldier serum coursing through their veins quickly set them apart from other soldiers, and they became Green Berets. They were good soldiers and good men. Dugan had raised his sons well, so in 1967 we allowed them to join our SOG team. We led numerous successful operations together. But on one fateful mission in 1969, we were ambushed by the Viet Cong and outnumbered 10-1. Dum Dum Dugan and Checkers the Chipmunk were both killed. Something snapped in Freddy that day. The next day, Freddy and his brothers went AWOL, except for Dexter Duck. We tracked them to a nearby village. Fosbear's team had murdered every innocent person in that village. Fosbear believed the Viet Cong soldiers that ambushed us the day before had been hiding in that village. No one escaped Fosbear's wrath. We reported back to command. They gave us orders to find and kill Fosbear and the rest of our former team. Dexter Duck fashioned a mask from a blanket he found soaking in a pool of blood at the village. He told me that Dexter the Duck couldn't bring himself to kill his brothers, but Deadpool Duck needed to avenge those villagers. Deadpool Duck and I intercepted Fosbear's team before they could slaughter another nearby village. We fought them for hours and finally subdued them, but we couldn't bring ourselves to kill them. These were our brothers, and despite the atrocities they had committed, we believed they deserved a second chance. We returned them to base. They were court-martialed and locked away in a maximum security prison for the next 40 years. I tried to go see them, to talk to them, but every time they refused to speak to me. Now they've escaped, and more innocent people have died. This is my fault for not stopping them permanently when I had the chance.
You always see the best in people, Captain, but some folks just don't have any good in them. Fosbear and his boys better not be making chipmunk sausage pizzas in there.
I'll go inside and confront Fosbear. You sneak around back and find a way in. I believe those chipmunks are alive, and you need to get them to safety while I deal with Fosbear.
Captain, hold up. I know you're one hell of a soldier, but if this Fosbear is as dangerous as you say he is, then you don't have to face him alone. I'll go in there with you and have your back.
Freddy Fosbear and I forged a deep bond in the hellfire of Vietnam. He was a good man, so I'll offer him and his brothers one last chance to turn themselves in. If I want any hope of bringing them back, I need to go alone and as a friend. The safety of those chipmunks is our top priority. I know I can trust you to secure them, Detective Wolfman. If you see any of Fosbear's men, put them down before they can hurt you or the chipmunks.
Hey, Freddy! Captain America's out front.
I have not played a guitar in 40 years, Bonnie. Do you remember the days before the war when we performed as Fosbear and friends?
Greatest time of my life. They had good coke in the 60s.
With these hands I played beautiful music that brought joy into this world. But all that changed when we went to war. In Khe Sanh, I ripped out a man's jugular with my bare hands. In Quang Tri, I tore a man's heart out of his chest. In My Lai, I executed children. Now my hands only bring pain, destruction, and death into this world. We were created to be killers, and though we tried to carve out a different life for ourselves as musicians, we cannot escape our destiny as warriors. And our war is unfinished.
You're a very broken bear, Freddy, but you're still my brother.
Let's go, Bonnie. We have a job to do.
Do you remember the first night I came here, Freddy?
Back in '67, we had just returned home from our first deployment. You joined us on stage and sang the national anthem, while I played the Star-Spangled Banner on guitar.
And your father backed us up on the drums.
I think back to that night often, Captain. It was a good memory, and those are hard to come by these days.
What have you done with the chipmunks, Freddy?
I'm going to train them into soldiers to take back Vietnam. They will be as fierce as our brother Checkers the Chipmunk.
You murdered 12 innocent people when you bombed the Vietnamese embassy. You threw your own brother Dexter Duck off a building, and you've enslaved numerous innocent chipmunks. You need to turn yourselves in before you destroy more lives.
There is no going back for us, Captain. We were created to be warriors, and our war in Vietnam is unfinished.
I know you're in pain, all of you. The war took so much from every one of us. It made us suffer in ways no man deserves to suffer. I know you hate the Viet Cong and everything they took from you, because I hated them too. All the innocent people I saw suffer and die at the hands of the Viet Cong. I wanted to break every one of their necks myself. But you need to let go of that hate, otherwise it will consume and destroy you. Turn that hate for the enemy into compassion for your allies. Use your pain as a motivator, not to destroy, but to help rebuild. There are a lot of people out there that the world has beaten down, and you can help them. All you need is the fortitude to pick them up. It's not too late to turn your lives around. Let me help you. That hate and pain has taken enough of your past. Don't let it destroy your future too.
I wish it was that easy, Captain. But our father and brother were killed by those savages. Too many innocent people suffered and died over there at the hands of the communists. The Vietnamese never paid for their crimes. We lost the war. My father and brother died for nothing. I am fighting for them. It's time for retribution. We're going to train those chipmunks into cold-blooded killers. We are going over there to take back Vietnam. We're gonna tear that country apart from the inside out. They'll answer for what they've done.
I won't allow that to happen, Freddy. Do not disrespect your father and Checkers by using their sacrifice as justification for your atrocities. The chipmunks you've kidnapped deserve freedom, as do the Vietnamese people. I will not let you take that from them.
You are Captain America. Since when do you care about the Vietnamese people?
I will stand and fight for anyone that cannot protect themselves, whoever or wherever they may be. This is your last warning. Turn yourselves in, or I will end you.
We won't let anyone stand in our way, Captain. We have a job to do.
Stop this madness and stand down.
You sanctimonious bastard. You think just because you have that shield that gives you the right to be judge, jury, and executioner, you're a hypocrite. If Freddy had that shield, then people would have cheered when we slaughtered everyone in that village. They would have given us medals, not a prison sentence.
Jerkman, I will finish this for you and Bonnie.
Don't worry, chipmunks. I'm gonna get you out of there. Hold it right there. This here's private property. You're trespassing. Put your hands where I can see them.
Your father would be ashamed if he could see you now.
Jerkman was right.
If I had that shield of yours, then I would be a hero for what I've done, not a war criminal.
You don't understand what that shield represents.
Then I'll take it from you and find out.
This shield represents the strong protecting the weak, no matter what. But you have too much innocent blood on your hands to understand that.
Let's get you fellas out of here.
You guys get to safety. Dale and I will help the dog man. Go on. We can do this, Dale.
Quit hiding behind your shield, Captain.
I don't need this shield to put you down, terrorist.
That monster strangled my cousin to death.
You acted in defense of an officer of the law. That was a justified shooting. This bastard won't be hurting anyone else thanks to you. But I'll be needing that revolver back, son.
Here you go, dog man.
The name's Wolfman.
Did you miss me, Captain?
It's good to see you back on your feet, old friend.
I should have thrown you off a higher building, brother. We should have left this fuzzy piece of shit hanging by his gonads in the Hanoi Hilton. True story, back in '67, Fosbear was captured by the Viet Cong. He spent 3 days dangling by his testicles in a POW camp, until Cap and I rescued his furry ass. I would have taken a bullet for either one of you, but when I needed you most, you turned against me. Cap and I visited you and our brothers every year you were in prison, and you refused our help every time.
We gave you boys every opportunity to turn your lives around.
I should have killed you 40 years ago when you slaughtered those innocent villagers. This is for all of them. Chipmunks, hit the deck. It's me you want, Freddy. Shoot me.
I'm sorry, Freddy.
I never wanted to be a soldier. I was happy playing my music.
The chipmunks are free, Captain. But I'm afraid we were too late to save all of them.
We saved as many chipmunks as we could, Detective Wolfman. Did you encounter Fox back there?
The chipmunks and I had no choice but to use lethal force on the poorly groomed fox with the eye patch.
You did what was necessary. All hostile threats have been neutralized.
I'm sorry about your brothers, Deadpool Duck.
Back when we were kids, my brothers and I always looked up to Freddy and Checkers the Chipmunk. Papa Dugan raised us to do the right thing, no matter what. He taught us to help people. Freddy and Checkers always followed Papa's example, and made sure we did too. They were the best of us. But the Freddy I knew and loved died with Papa Dugan and Checkers. I wanted to get revenge just as bad as Freddy, but I know my father and Checkers didn't want us to go down that path. My brothers followed Freddy straight into hell, because to them, Freddy could do no wrong.
Your father and Checkers would be proud of you, Dexter.
So, your brothers won't be recovering from these injuries the way you did, will they?
Of all my brothers, I'm the only one that got a healing ability from Strucker's serum. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse.
You're a very brave group of chipmunks. I'm sorry we couldn't save your cousin, Chip. I know this was a traumatizing experience, and if you ever need my help with anything, call the Captain America hotline and use the code word Excelsior. I'll help you with whatever you need.
You boys handled yourselves well back there. We could always use brave chipmunks like yourselves on the police force. If you've got any desire to be officers of the law, just let me know.
Being a police officer sounds fun, but I want to be an Avenger. I could be Captain Chipmunk. Me too. I want to be a wizard like the Strange Doctor.
You have to be in top physical shape to be an Avenger. My friend here, Deadpool Duck, was a drill sergeant back in the day. He can put you through your paces and see if you have what it takes to be an Avenger.
Avengers don't fuck around, boys. Are you sure you're up for this?
We won't let you down, Captain. I do a lot of things, but fucking around isn't one of them. I'm ready.
Hoorah, chipmunks. Thanks for watching, folks. Stay tuned to see if these two furry critters have what it takes to be Avengers. I hope this video wasn't too graphic for our younger audience members. Keep fighting the good fight, everyone. Take care. Duck out.